Alright, hi. My name is Jason, and today we'll dive into a pretty cool topic, adding integers. And then don't worry if it sounds complicated because we'll break it down step by step. So first, what are integers? So integers are whole numbers, both positive and negative. That means that numbers like -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Think of them like a number line with 0 in the middle. And then, as you can see, there's a number line on your screen right now, down below. Second, why do we need to learn this? So, well, first, because adding integers helps us, understand real-world situations, like tracking temperature changes, bank account transactions, or even football yards. Okay, now we'll dive into a counter method. So let's start with a fun way to understand integer addition using two colors counters. Blue counters represent positive numbers, and then red counters represents negative numbers. Okay, now rule 1, same signs. So when we're adding numbers with the same sign, just add their value and keep the sign. For example, 5 plus 3 equals 8. Both 5 and 3 is positive, so just add them up, equals 8. And then if you see the same signs, for example, like -5 and -3, you add them up, it's -8. Rule number 2, different signs. So this is basically the same thing as last rule, but this time we're adding the number with the different signs. So we subtract their values and use the sign of the larger number. So for example, 5 plus -3 equals 2, and then -2 plus 3 equals -2. So how I do it is just 5, when there's a negative sign behind the plus sign, then we can just replace the plus sign with the negative sign, so it would just be 5 minus 3 instead of 5 plus -3. So yeah, I think that's much easier. And then there's real world applications, for example, temperature changes, football yards, gains and losses, diving underground, etc. And then now, practice problems. We have 3 practice problems. So first one, what is 7 plus -4 equals 2? And second, -6 plus 2 equals to what? And last one, -3 plus -5 equals what? We'll give you around 3 minutes to answer these questions. Alright, now let's reveal the answer for number 1, 2, and 3. So number 1, the correct answer is 3. Since using the second rule, different signs. When adding numbers with different signs, subtract their values and use the sign of the larger number. So yeah, and I said the method that I use, just replace the plus sign with the negative sign when there's a negative sign behind a plus sign. So the correct answer for 1 is 3. For 2, question 2, the correct answer is -4. And this one is still using the second rule, different signs. When adding numbers with different signs, subtract their values and use the sign of the larger number. So in this case, it will be -4. And then question 3, where we use the rule of same sign. So it's when adding the numbers with the same sign, just add their values and keep the signs. So in this case, the correct answer for number 3, question 3, is just going to be -8. Alright, last practice problem, that is real world applications. So here's a question. The temperature in Buffalo, New York, one morning started at 7 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. By noon, it had warmed up 12 degrees. And what was the temperature at noon? For this question, I'll give you around 1 minute. Feel free to pause or to skip if you're already done. Alright, let's see if you got this question correct. So first, we write a phrase for the temperature. So we'll say that the temperature warmed up 12 degrees from 7 degrees below 0. And then we can translate the phrase to math notation, which is -7 plus 12. Because 7 degrees below 0, which is, remember the number line, -7, and then a 12 is above the 0, so it's positive, so it's going to be -7 plus 12. And then calculate or simplify, we got 5. And then we can write our conclusion or sentence. So the answer will be the temperature at noon was 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, here are some quick tips for you. The first tip is always check the sign first, because that's pretty important, because checking the signs first will let you know which rule you should use, whether the first rule same sign, second rule different signs. So yeah, tip 1 is pretty important, and same as tip 2, but not as important as the first one. The second tip is remember the number line. As I mentioned before, the number line is also important, because if you think of them like a number line with 0 in the middle, then it will be much easier for you to calculate what the question is asking, or equation is asking. And the last one, practice makes perfect. that is a well-known tip, I would say, and it is true. Without practices, you might lose, your skills or your memories on those tips or skills. So yeah, I would say practice makes perfect, and just keep it up. And then if you encounter some struggles, then just don't give up, or you can just ask your parents or your teacher, or just search up on YouTube. There's much more other videos that can teach you how to encounter something. All right. Lastly, integer addition might seem tricky at first, but with practice, you'll be a pro in no time, I believe. Remember that math is just like a puzzle. The more you play with it, the better you get. So I'll say keep exploring and stay curious. And then yeah, thank you.